indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. First, we're going to open our public hearing for proposed local law number 2 for 2023, amending chapter 151 and repealing section 151.2 about parking and storage. Ann, do you want to read the notice?
The Village of Green Island will hold a public hearing on Monday, July 17th, 2023 at 6:20 p.m. at the Green Island Municipal Center, 19 George Street, Green Island, New York. The purpose of the public hearing is to consider local law number 2 of 2023, a local law entitled amending chapter 151 and hereby repealing section 151-2, parking and storage, in its entirety and replacing with the new section 151-2. All interested parties may appear and be heard. The notice is dated June 29, 2023.
Joe, do you want to give a brief overview?
Very brief. Parking is at a premium in the village. There really is not enough on-street parking for accommodation, and lately there has been a vast increase in the number of recreational vehicles in excess of 20 feet in length that have been parked on the street, and that has been legal because they are properly registered, have license plates. But one of those vehicles takes up more than 2 spaces for individual cars, and that puts a great hardship on the rest of the citizens. So basically this law amends our existing no parking area, no parking on streets for any vehicle in excess of 20 feet, whether it's registered, licensed, or not. That's it.
And we have had several of these vehicles that were parked for the entire winter, which was very difficult for the people that lived around there. It was difficult to plow around, and some of them create a hazard when you're trying to pull out because you've got this, basically a house on the street. So I think this will be good. We'll open it up for any comments.
Can I just ask a question? Wasn't it before we came up with this, wasn't it before that you had to have a truck or something hooked up to the trailer or whatever?
Yes, that's still the case.
That's still the case.
You still cannot have a trailer that is disconnected from its towing vehicle.
Okay.
Left on the street.
And then what about the storage containers that, you know, rack, whatever they are?
Yeah, I know there's one on Hudson Avenue now.
Yeah.
Those are allowable with barricade permits.
So you gotta have a barricade
And
permit.
those barricade permits are 30 days and they can renew every month. if
Gotcha.
needed. But they're, that's temporary, but it is a barricade permit.
Okay, yeah.
Same way with if you're gutting a house and you've got a dumpster out
Right.
there, you have to get a barricade
They're
permit.
treated the same way.
Are boats treated the same?
No,
No.
No, okay.
and you can't have a boat parked unless it's connected to a vehicle that can tow it.
Well, that's what I meant.
Can't
Oh,
leave
okay.
anything there that can't move by itself.
Okay.
And even if it can move by itself, if it's 20 feet or more, you can't have it. So,
Thank you.
And I just got a question, within the territorial limits of the village. I wanna put it up in my driveway or next to my house.
no,
That's fine.
just on the public streets.
Okay, just on the
Nope.
street itself. All
Privately,
right.
privately you can park it there, but technically you can't have more than 3 junk cars anyplace because that's
More
considered.
than one unregistered vehicle
Yeah.
on a lot.
Well, I'm pretending it's registered.
Yeah.
I don't have one anyway.
Exactly.
But if somebody asks you, you'll know the answer.
Okay.
Anything else? Well, then we will close the public hearing and we will start our village board meeting. We'll call the meeting to order, and could we have the roll call, please?
Mayor McNulty Ryan.
Present.
Executive Assistant Maggie Alex.
Present.
Trustee Files.
Present.
Trustee Jones. I don't know.
He's absent.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Trustee McGivern.
Present.
Trustee Viera.
Present.
Trustee Lyota.
Present.
Trustee Carwheel.
Present.
And Attorney Legnard.
Present.
Could we have a motion to excuse the absentee?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Anybody check to see?
I did, no.
Nothing for public forum. Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Everyone has a copy of the minutes of the public hearing and the regular meeting here held on June 19th of 2023. Does anyone have any corrections in it? If not, could I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is communications and actions, and you've got a couple letters,
The
a couple
first-
sentences.
The first letter is from Scott Mahar, addressed to the Village Board of Green Island. I, Victor Scott Mahar, am giving my letter of resignation as I am retiring from the Green Island Fire Department as of July 28, 2023. Sincerely, Victor S. Mahar.
Ordered filed.
The second communication is addressed to Maggie Alex. I am writing to inform you that as of July 21st, 2023, I, Brian Welsh, will be retiring. Have a wonderful day. Sincerely, Brian Welsh.
Ordered filed. Well, can we do these together? And we have one more who's retiring also, which is Matt Lansing. He did not give us a letter, but Lynn received all of the information from the retirement, so he's going out this month too. So could I have a motion to accept the resignations or retirement, I guess you would call it, all three of those firefighters?
All three.
I'll make a motion.
All three.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is appointments. I always like appointments. For our planning board, Matt Richmond at 27 Payne Street is a young fellow, and he's expressed some interest in getting more involved in things. And he is, we talked to Kristen on the planning board and all, and Maggie, and we'd like to ask him to join our planning board. We've been down one member on there for a while, so it would be good. And he's a very nice young fella. He's very educated, and I don't know if you want to say anything about him.
Yeah, no, he expressed some interest. He submitted his resume. He appears to be very smart. He's, very interested, and we're looking to get a new generation of people involved. So I think it will be a good fit for us.
Any questions?
And this is Matt, I get my Richmond's confused.
The son,
The son,
Yes.
okay, all right.
yes.
Any questions? If not, could I have a motion to appoint Matt Richmond of 27 Payne Street to the planning board?
I'll make a
Make-
motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is fire department appointments. As you all know, we went from a 7-man department to a 3-man or 4-man department in a matter of weeks. We were very worried about things, and our Lieutenant Jones managed to put the word out that we were looking to do some hires. And he had 5 people come in that are trained and they're firefighters and EMT. So this could not be better. And if we could have hired all 5 of them, we would have hired them all, but we only had 4 spots. We actually had 3 spots, but as you recall in our budget this year, we said we were going to try to go to an 8-man department. And I didn't even realize this until we were doing the interviews. The Cohoes and Waterville both have, you're on one day and off 3. And we were on one day and off 2. So this aligns them with their platoons, the way that they work. So the 2 guys on here will be working with the same people in each of those departments. So they have a better chance training together and working together. And so that was an added bonus. I would like to ask our board to make a motion to hire Dominic Benedetto, Joseph Hallenbeck, Caleb Johnson, and Roy Paul.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Now that you did that, we're planning to, we had to wait until we found out if they were gonna get appointed. Friday morning at 10:30 at the community center, the senior center, we're gonna have a little swearing-in ceremony for them. Chief Fadas was working on getting his color guard to come down and just have a nice little service and swear all 4 of them in down there, and we told them they could invite their families, so, if any of you are available, that would be great. Friday morning at 10:30. Next on the agenda is the approval of claims. Everyone has a copy. Does anyone have any questions? Anthony's here. If there are no questions, could I have a motion to pay the bills?
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next on the agenda is the police activity report. Everyone has a copy. Could I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next on the agenda is the fire department report. Everyone has a copy. Could I have a motion to accept?
Make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is the submittal of the monthly report by the treasurer. Everyone has a copy. Any questions? We're only 1 month into it, but it looks like we're staying on budget. Could I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of the monthly report of the Parking Violations Bureau. Everyone has a copy. Could I have a motion to accept?
Make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of adopting local law number 2 of 2023, amending chapter 151 and hereby repealing section 151-2, parking and storage in its entirety, and replacing it with section 151-2. We just had the public hearing and we didn't seem to have any objections. So if there are no objections, could I have a motion to adopt local law number 2?
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of awarding bids for street paving and ADA curb installation. I'm gonna let Mag talk about this, because
Sure. So about a month ago, we put out an RFP to do some road paving projects throughout the village. The RFP actually included 5 streets. The 4 you see listed here: Lafayette Park, Lower Payne Street, Bleecker Street, Payne Street, and Swan Street. The bids did come in a little bit higher than we expected, so unfortunately we don't have enough funds at this point to do Swan Street, but we would like to move forward with Lafayette Park, Lower Payne Street, Bleecker Street, and Payne Street. We will use CHIPS and extreme winter money to cover the cost of this. The 4 streets together will cost just over $579,000. We have $572,000 in CHIPS money, which would leave the village responsible for about $7,800. Going forward, we'd like to make a continuous plan to then, do a street at a time. This money that we have in CHIPS has been rolled over for a few years now, so we have a good pot of money to use. Once we expend that, we should be able to do a maintenance of a street a season going forward.
and if any of, I should have mentioned this earlier on our operating statement in the general fund. I don't know if you noticed on line 9, Anthony's investments that he's done, and getting some interest rates hiked up a little bit.
No money, no money.
We did pretty good in the first month, so that's going to help out in the future too. So, does anyone have any questions on the streets that we want to do? Hopefully these will go faster than the other streets did. Because Cohoes Ave, the lower end of it, was a total reconstruction. So, if there are no questions, could I have a motion to award the street paving and ADA curbing to Newcastle Paving in Troy?
Make the motion.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of awarding a bid for the GIPA DPW facility drainage and pavement plan. I'll let Meg comment on this too. We had bigger plans for it, but.
We did. So we also put an RFP out At the DPW and Gippa Garage, the facility there, just in front of the first couple bays there, water pools there. It's become a safety issue, especially in the winter when that water freezes. It's like our own little ice skating rink.
And it actually fills up so much that the geese come in the nice weather
Yeah.
and swim around in it, so.
So we did put out an RFP and it had two parts. The first part was to correct that drainage issue. The second part of that was to repave, the entire facility. We were able to do the driveway from Cohoes Ave to the gate with the Cohoes Avenue project, so this would have been all of the pavement inside the fenced area. Unfortunately, those bids came in way over budget, so we would like to proceed. The RFP gives us the opportunity to itemize sections of the bid. So we would like to just go ahead right now with the drainage. If we fix the drainage issue now, then going forward in the next budget cycle, we can budget differently or properly to repave. So the portion of the drainage would be $23,200, which would be a shared cost with GIPA.
I guess my question is like, one of them is like 79,000 and then this guy's like 23,000.
Yeah, so
Like-
typically a developer or contractor like that is bidding to be a good partner in the process, but not necessarily interested in the job.
Oh.
So they kind of throw out a wild number.
They didn't sharpen their pencil.
But the other three,
But
as far
then
as
then he's
drainage,
like low on
The paving.
The paving, like,
Yeah.
I could see being higher on the paving and lower
Right.
on the. I
But they're
guess.
two different things too.
No, I
you
understand
know.
that, but I'm just saying
They
like.
may have to sub the excavation part to someone else too, which means it's gonna cost more.
Well, at any rate, you still gotta give it to the lowest bidder, right?
Right.
and we can't afford the paving.
Yeah, I bet. Marona.
No matter how, we need a little bit more interest.
We'll have to do a few bake sales too or something.
Something.
So could I have a motion to award the bid to Peter Louisi and Brothers Contracting?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of authorizing the mayor to sign the civil rights certification form for Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program. This is just a yearly thing that.
Yeah, this is an annual, renewal, I guess you can call it, and it basically just says that the village will comply with the Civil Rights Act when, administering their public housing program.
Any questions?
No.
If not, could I have a motion to authorize me to sign the certification?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of authorizing the mayor to sign a memorandum of understanding for shared service agreement with the adjoining police agencies, Waterville, Manans, and Cohoes. We have agreements with them now, but this just kind of is more specific, and it just makes it very clear that, you know, if we go someplace else and something happens to one of our vehicles, it's on us, it's not on the other municipality. So, and they're gonna have quarterly meetings, the police chiefs are, so it just, they work very well together, but they came to us and wanted to do this. It just makes everything more clear. And, you know, if you decide you wanna back out, we can, but, we'd be crazy if we did, so. Are there any questions? So can I have a motion to authorize me to sign a memorandum of understanding
Make a
with
motion.
the adjoining police agencies? Joe and here, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of ratifying authorization for the executive assistant to the mayor to sign MS4 Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan acceptance forms. Sewers are yours, Max.
So this basically, again, is just documentation purposes. DEC requires that the board officially authorize someone to sign any related MS4 documents. It came forward when we submitted our SWIP plan for 147 Cannon Street, the Louisi project at the old Friedman site. And I think when I signed, they still had Sean on record, so it's basically just putting myself on record.
Any questions? If not, can I have a motion to ratify the authorization for Maggie to sign the MS4?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. We have no recap for GIPA DPW. Do we have any other business? I might as well discuss it now. In October, our meeting, on the third Monday falls, I'm going to be away. Kristen's gonna be away with the Power Authority and the Planning Board, and Maggie's gonna be away. So we're asking if everybody could check their schedules and just get back to us to see if Tuesday, the 10th of October, we could do it, because the 9th of October, which, when we change it, we usually go to a Monday, but that's a holiday, so. So if you can just check and get back to us if it's a problem for anybody. We just wanted to give everybody some advance notice. Anything for our board forum? Everybody's quiet tonight. Must be nobody ate dinner before they came, so they wanna get home. Our next meeting will be Monday, August 21st at 6:20. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? And it's carried. Thank you very much, everybody.
Nice help.